Hello, everybody, again, and welcome to another episode of Stock Talk. I am your host, Mike, and with me again is Old.
Kage, how are you?
Good, not too bad. Just here on getting ready to get a list. We only have two today, just because some of the other ones I've covered before, and I kind of just don't feel like covering them. So
Mm.
Thursday night football is a blowout. So I guess if you're a Colts fan, go Colts, and sorry if you're a Jets fan. That's even if you pay attention to football. But this isn't a football show. This is a stock show. So it only matters if we're talking fantasy, but we're not talking fantasy. Today's show is brought to you by Bodies. Get yourself some today. Bodies is anti-inflammatory support. It uses pure, highest fine quality of turmeric for anti-inflammatory support, flexibility support, and joint support. So you can go on the internet and check out where that is at. Looks like it has 95% pure turmeric in it. Also organic sage leaf, lemon balm leaf, and organic thyme leaf. So if you have aches and pains, or if you have any type of inflammation, ask your doctor if you can take this, because it is a lot purer turmeric than some of that fake crap that's out there that they're trying to peddle. They're telling you that this stuff is straight up for runners with knee problems and things like that. You won't be disappointed. I could say that for sure. You got anything to add on that for Bodies at all?
I'd have to say the turmeric is actually really, really good for most people. That
Mm-hmm.
stuff has been used for thousands of years by the Indians, and they seem to live really long lives, just like the Japanese with their tea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So check that out. It's gluten free, bone support, non-GMO. It's the purest turmeric out there. And it's not an everyday use thing. It's just kind of like when you get an ache and pain, stuff like that. Instead of jamming down a bunch of ibuprofen and Advil, throw down one of those. So check it out, Bodies. So going on to the stocks, one of the first stocks we're going to talk about here, Kage, is ITP, IT Tech Packaging Incorporated. Now this one, Kage, is pretty interesting considering the supply chain issues and things like that. As far as this goes, going to January 21st, March 21st, you have the Biden bounce where everything goes up, and this thing is almost to $1.50. And then something weird happens. I don't know what it is, just kidding, but I do know what it is. And then it's called Skyfall. It just drops because everybody sells out, locks in their profits. Now, this company right here is currently one of the most talked about stocks on the net. So meaning you need to watch yourself and don't jump in. Also, this company is headquartered in China. So there's another one for you. With that being said, with it headquartered in China there, Kage, it is very volatile and things could change in a minute. Just like the regular stocks can, things can be, let's just say, possibly interchanged here and there to not go into your favor, would you say?
I would have to say so. This stock is like a bipolar person. If
Yeah.
I were to compare it to a person.
Yeah, because you can. I don't know. There was a stock a while ago. A lot of people complained about it. I can't remember. Something had to do with China ceramics or something like that. And a lot of people. It was volatile. They lost, and they were posted on the boards, and they were pissed. This is like 4 or 5 years ago. The company still exists, but it was based all on the construction of the ghost cities that they have in China. If you're not if you don't know a little bit about some of the ghost cities were built, in some of the provinces in China, and about 20% occupancy currently, and in the past, where you had about 80% of the building was empty there. So that's in a nutshell is kind of like a ghost city is what we're talking about when we say ghost cities. So going into what would they do? What would you say they do? They're a holding company in which they engage in the production of distribution of paper products. It operates through the Dofang paper and boating Shende segments. Forgive me if I don't get it right. The segment produces printing paper, corrugated medium paper, and segment products produce digital photo paper. So going on with that, what information do you have about this company so far? What you've seen, especially like on the website and things?
I'm looking at the website right now. It looks like most of their business is wood products. I think what happens is we in America export our wood to China, and then
Mm-hmm.
they take the wood and then use it for a variety of different products, including these.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like they do corrugated boxes, cultural paper, printing paper, and non-medical surgical single-use face masks. So
Oh, interesting. There, that's a little bit
I,
interesting.
yeah, I imagine that these people, they would be tied in with the medical industry with
Mm-hmm.
those single face use masks. And if you follow the news, it doesn't really look like it's going to last, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Also, they're using recycled paper as its primary raw material. The company produces and distributes categories in paper products, packaging, and it looks like they're using that with digital photo paper as well as tissue paper. So that's one positive thing I could say about it without being too negative is that they're not going to run out of toilet paper unless people boycott toilet paper from China for splinters or something, you know. I don't know, just throwing that out there. It looks like the services are 100 packing and printing companies and paper products distributors with diverse product offerings, including, like you said there, the corrugated, medium, high grade, offsetting printing paper, medium paper, printing paper, and they supply it to the greater Beijing area. And they're a major consumption market in northern China. Now, before any of you go ahead, because we have the old glory in the back and everything like that, saying, "Oh, why are you guys talking about this? This is not this." We're gonna cover some of this stuff so people know what they're doing before they're just throwing their dollar-rooskies into something they don't know. That's the purpose of the show. The purpose of the show is not to tell you what the buy point is and things like that. The purpose of the show is just to talk about things, let you know what's going on as far as with it, give you the you know which way the wind blows and things like that. Do you have anything to add about this one at all, or
Um, I would have to say if it was me, I'd probably steer clear with this one.
so you're a hard pass on this one, right?
Yeah, I'm a hard pass for this one.
I'm as well a pass on this one just for the fact that I've seen too much stuff happen with these types of stocks like this. So I am talking about it. It does seem interesting. Maybe things will change. I don't know. But the operations, you could see the operations going in here. So there is that going on. Going on to the website, they say they're eco-friendly. They're Kage. Sorry, got you mixed up with Kameo there.
um, Paper is a recyclable material, yes,
Yeah, I'm trying to keep a
but
straight face.
you can only recycle it only so much,
Yeah,
of course.
the majority of IT packing incorporated raw materials are eco-friendly recycling papers. They said since 2009, the company has gradually phased out products that require wood pulp as its primary raw material. Successful recycled papers, fiber sludge, which is a byproduct from the paper manufacturing process for corrugated medium paper. The company improved its paper toughness and stiffness and reduces the production costs of corrugated and medium paper. The company has a sewage processing system with daily capacity of up to 50,000 tons, which recycles paper and wastewater discharged from the production of reused corrugated medium paper product lines and ensures the full compliance of environmental protection regulations, according to which would be the CCP's regulations. Correct, Amundo?
I would imagine so, yes.
Yeah. So going on, enough of the props. You know, we want to see what the real meat and potatoes is as far as from the news. I know you got the Stockwitz end. I'm gonna go to PR Newswire, a plug about this, and their article on Cision says IT Tech Packaging Incorporated reminds stockholders of the importance of voting at annual meeting of shareholders. They have on here that they're a leading distributor, obviously, of the paper products, yada yada yada. Every stockholder vote is important, so for the number of shares you hold, an IT Tech Packaging Company requests the shareholder to vote online by telephone. So at least they're giving that out and they're voting by quorum. So there's that piece of news. That's not that too much there. What do you got on your end?
It looks like the comments are saying that it's volatile. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there are some who have actually had money be paid out for them for
Mm-hmm.
the stock,
Mm-hmm.
but it's kind of few and far between. Looks like.
Okay. I have on Market Screener, they were saying about why this, it's kind of weird. Today, the past 3 days too, they've been also pushing out Pets, which is another company from China. And that's the Alphabet news. I don't know if there was like promotion put out or something like that. Did you see anything about that?
It looks like this thing is being promoted. Yes.
Yeah, well, that's what it looks like on. There's another one out there called Pets that's being promoted as well. That's a Chinese, another company from China that's a food manufacturer there. So pet food there. So it says on here on this article from them that IT Tech Packaging, their manufacturer, obviously, that of the face masks. They have an announcement of the annual shareholder meeting, which they will vote on several important measures, including two new directors, the appointment of two new accounting firms, a 2021 equity plan. They said to pay attention to the meeting because considering the above information, something could change and news could pop. I'm thinking that some of the news could be just the pub, they raise it, and then people poop out. What do you think?
I think it's just one of those pump and dumps, like you said.
Oh,
It
what
just doesn't seem like this would be good for a long-term holding.
what would you say as far as what have you seen on Stockwitz as far as what Stockwitz the real traders are saying? Do you have any comments from any of these people, or do you think some of them?
Um, let's see. All three of you did brilliant research. Thank you for opening my cybernetic eyes and see you on the moon.
Hmm, interesting.
Hmm. Interesting one.
Did anybody post
Um,
any other interesting articles that you could see on that side?
let's see. Other interesting articles.
Just as far as on
One
Stockwitz.
says ITP now slow bleed to 0.35 bearish.
Hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, I could see why they have that comment there.
Hmm.
What else you got?
Uh, there's some things that are sad, I guess, in some instances.
Okay, Kage. So it looks like what some of the traders are saying that they got kicked in the nuts today by everything. I think some of this also has to do with the supply chain and things like that. If they're sending stuff over here, obviously there's the backup of the ports, things like that. They're parking shipping containers in neighborhoods and things like that. And so some of this, why possibly some of this isn't moving, because as you know, we ordered some products from China and we never got them and we canceled the orders just because of the whole port issue there. So that's possibly what could be affecting this right here is the backup and some of that why we're not seeing moving. But there is some positive news with that shareholder meeting and with the third quarter results. They could see some movement there as far as profits and things like that. And I would assume with this one, now here's something, I'm not saying I'm going to buy this. I'm not a shill for this, so I don't want to see it in the comments. But what I'm saying is that you could see profits because remember who didn't shut down they shut down for a little bit, but they opened right up quick and they were in for business and they were profitable, and that was China, correct?
Yeah, that would be correct.
So
Yes.
the third quarter results, I mean, because toilet paper here is flying off the shelves and paper and everything else. So, I mean, we could say that it's not interesting to us to get into, but not saying that you can't make money on it because it's a possibility. It's just, it's not the type of company that I like. I like crypto and pharmaceuticals. So that's just my bag, but it could be your bag. I don't know.
Well, paper is kind of going. It's kind of going the way of digital now. I don't know how much longer we'll be using notepads but I know that we'll be still wanting to use corrugated boxes and
Mm-hmm.
some toilet paper. So
Yeah.
if that's kind of what you want to put your money into, more power to you.
Yeah.
But just fair warning, these stocks are volatile.
Yeah, and a majority of your toilet paper does come from China. So just to give if anybody didn't know that, as well as 90, is it like 92% of our pharmaceuticals as well. We have one plant that makes vitamin C. The rest of it comes from overseas. So that just goes to show how much stuff is produced. And like I said, supply chains breaking down, things like that. That's something you got to watch. And that's why we're saying that some of the crypto and the pharmaceuticals and things like that stuff that toilet paper is good if you can make it here, but toilet paper, elsewhere, and you're not getting it in, and you're not getting your product to your consumers. That's going to be a problem. So that's just something to keep your eyes out, just to play devil's advocate there. You know what I'm saying there, Kage?
Mm-hmm. I
So,
would have to say so.
so do you have anything more to add on this one, or are you ready to move on to the next one?
I'm ready to move on to the next one.
Okay.
Mike.
All right. Okay, guys, the next stock we have is HCDI. HCDI, last tick was $2.10. Kage, this one is pretty. You could actually on this one play around and swing if you wanted to do on this one. They do have a physical product. They are not in mommy's basement. They're home developer there. The last tick, like I said, was 210. And the interesting thing about this is you don't have a bite and bounce where it just dives off. I mean, you sort of do, but then you don't. It's been staying steady, and that's because the housing market's staying steady because interest rates are artificially, let's just put it, low.
Injected, yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're not going to stay there, obviously, but I'm not. What I would say on this one so far is the chart on this looks pretty healthy. And I could see why it stayed steady because the place looks gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? So going into what would you say they do here? They're an emerging growth company which engages in construction, sale management of residential properties. Its portfolio includes single-family lots, multi-family lots, properties, home communities. The company was founded in Sterling Griffin, February 2014, and is headquartered in Washington. So with construction keep on going, this is one of the safer plays. But if the shit starts to hit the fan with the banks and Evergrande and all that stuff, that's the other risk you have to worry about, because we don't know as far as with Evergrande how much of our banks have lent money to them as well. That's not been revealed yet. So that's the hidden part of Evergrande that a lot of people, we've covered this on the show too. A lot of people don't realize that our banks did lend to those companies, and there's several of them. There's not just Evergrande. And so if that I'm not calling a shot or nothing or trying to say like, hey, this is going to happen. I know when it is, because I don't. But what I am saying is that you got to be cautious. But for now, it has a healthy chart. What say you?
Yeah, this one you can definitely swing with. This is more stable because it's in the real estate business.
Mm-hmm.
And real estate is always going to have value, whether it's inflated or not.
Yep. You just got to watch the interest rates, and you got to watch the foreclosures. Because when the foreclosures pile up and things like that, that's when you got to start wondering about, should I get out, or what's my out point, things like that. But looking at this community, they have the picture of one of the communities. That is just freaking beautiful on there. What do you think of that?
Mm-hmm. It definitely looks green, and definitely is a grander site, I guess you could say.
Yeah. It looks like Harbor Custom Development seeks to be the leading developer of premium single-family lots and residential communities to the nation's fastest-growing metropolitan regions. The founder, Gig Harbor Custom Development, is a real estate development company involved in all aspects of land development, cycle development, land acquisition, entitlements, construction of project infrastructure, home building, marketing, sales. So they've diversified themselves all into a variety of places. They're in Washington, the People's Republic of California, they're in Texas, and they're in Florida. Now, two keys here would be obviously Washington, the greater Seattle area. Then you have Texas, and then you also have Florida. California, the parts there, I see more of an exit there in certain parts, probably moving north to Northern California and some of the outer areas and things like that. But business is definitely booming in Florida and Texas. Florida people are coming there in droves, especially from New York for freedom, and some of the other areas in the Rust Belt. What say you?
Yeah, the people moving that moved to California are coming back
Mm-hmm.
east to those other more red states, I guess you could say.
The only thing that I could see affecting some of this, obviously, would be inflation with wood prices, and also if there's going to be a major, if these truckers are going to quit, and you're going to see slowdown of delivering things as far as wood and things like that for their projects and things like that. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but we have to throw all aspects out there. This isn't a pump up show that's just like, oh, hey, dude, yeah, throw your dollars into this. We're throwing out all aspects because that's what we do. We don't go into and tell you to find your buy point. You got to find your own buy point. So we're just telling you a little bit of our takes and what we think and what's going on in the world. So the business strategy focuses on acquiring land with scenic views development and sell residential lots. Well, that's huge in itself because everybody's looking for their getaway with scenic lots, and we know as from what our business is and things like that. We've been to some places there with you there, Kage, that have been scenic lots and things like that. And these people take their property hunting there pretty serious with the nice views and everything that we've been in. The houses are crazy, huh?
Yeah, the houses are really nice, and they look well made. Just we just need to the inflation on the housing market just needs to be more stable for everyday people to get homes.
Yeah, they've got to figure out something to, not saying go back to the pre 2008 days, but they got to figure out something different to help people see if they can get in like they did before somehow. I'm not the expert on that. I don't have the brightest answer. I don't have the magic wand, but something's got to be figured out so younger people have a better chance of acquiring a home. And if you have ideas, throw it in there, or call your congressman or senator. Like that's going to do anything. But I was just kidding. So it looks like they specialize in 30 to 60 minute commute of the nation's fastest growing metro employment corridors. So they are focusing on areas that are within those arteries of going to those metropolitan areas there. So that's a plus too. I mean, that should move some homes right there and get some of your heavy hitter dollar people in there buying homes, huh?
Yeah, I'd have to say it looks like they're trying to focus on the main hubs where people come together. I think.
Yeah, that's the smartest.
It looks like a lot of their business model is based on homes that I've seen, like up in those benches, up on the mountains.
Yep, they're going after all the benches with the overlooks and things like that, and surrounding getting the mountain views and things like that. It looks like they strive for sustainability, resource and energy efficient, durable green materials, and indoor air quality are all the key components of sustainable living plan. Guys, that's huge. I don't know if any of you have been in any homes that are like energy efficient. A lot of you out there do have energy efficient homes. There is a 100% difference in a home made, say, obviously that hasn't been updated, and then one that's an energy efficient home. You just check out the power bills and compare, and then you'll see what I'm talking about without having to blow half a show talking about the difference between one that's been energy efficient and what's not. Their other green features include a high efficiency water heater. That's huge in itself. Energy Star rated appliances, GRI Green Label Plus certified carpets. In addition, member United States Green Building Council, so that's good too. Have you seen anything out there, Kage, of any type of plug for anything of these guys getting any kickback, anything from the Gov? I'm not saying there is. I'm just seeing if there's anything, any kickback coming that they got their hands out for any grants.
I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing.
Okay.
Not from what I've seen.
Going into, let's look at their communities real quick, if we can. I'm interested in what do they got? So right where we have our some of our business in Texas, I'm going to show a map right here. This is this whole circle that I just showed you guys is huge as far as that is some of the most I call that the money triangle for my company. Most of my business comes out of that area. Just because, like I told you guys before, if you're new to the show, I own an IT company, and so I have installers that are installing in that whole area is the money area. So if they're cranking out right there outside of Austin and all of those surrounding areas in Texas, it's bank. I'm not kidding you. So that's one area I can pick out where I call that the money triangle right there. They say they're in Florida. I don't see any communities on that map. Do you see any there that caught your eye at all?
No, no maps, no.
So it looks like out on above Sacktown, you have their other communities there by Auburn and Lincoln and Roseville. So that's huge too as far as the commute there. And then up in the Seattle area, it's obvious that around the Washington Metro there, that's just crazy. So the revenues there are revenues in all these places are just it's nuts. That's all I'm gonna say there, Kage. What say you?
Yeah, I think a lot of these homes are just way overpriced.
Well, yeah, because you have inflation, the cost of wood, and everything like that. When they say, sometime skyfall will happen, they don't say that. I just made that up, but it's not going to be pretty when it does come down. It can't keep on. It can't sustain itself this way for this long. You can't have houses that should be worth, 200,000, 250, be worth like $750,000. It's just completely ridiculous. So
yeah, it's kind of like the law of gravity. You jump up in the air and you want to stay up there longer, and Earth's like, "Hey, get back down here."
So I've heard several like doomsday predictors. One of these guys was right in 2008. He predicted that the next crash that comes, they would have to. This is just his words. This isn't mine. He basically said, I can't recall his name, but he just basically said the next crash will make 2008 look like a picnic, and you'll have as far as they'll have to go back and recorrect every mortgage because it'll be that bad. That's just his take. So can't remember who he is. You can go and search and look around for him. He does several. I just don't know his name. I wish I could find him. Maybe I'll find it and put it in the chat if anybody really cares. Anyways, going on to Stockwitz. What do you have on there, and anything popping up on there from the real traders? And I'm just going to go to Global Newswire while you're queuing that up.
All right. This comment from N4U says, adding here, the max I may lose is 20 cents, and the amount of exposure and pumpers will make it move forward to $3 or more.
Mm-hmm.
At this price, it's only 10% up. Good long-term play.
Yeah. And right now, these guys they've got the music keyed up. It's one of the top stocks on Google, so they're like, pump up the jam, pump it up a little more. They got the 90s house music going, and they're running to jam because that's just what they do. And so we're here to tell you, watch yourself before you go in and jump in and lose a bunch of money. Going through here, it looks like on Global Newswire, it says they approved a new stock repurchase program authorizing the repurchase of $5 million worth of shares of common stock beginning November 22nd, 2021. Continuing through May 2022, the amount of the repurchase program represents 17% of outstanding shares for the company's common stock closing price of November 3rd, 2021. The company authorized management team to enter into a trading plan with Piper Sandler in accordance to Rule 10b-5-1 of the Security Exchange Act of 1934. Okay, so I got a plug here from Global Newswire. This was like 3 weeks ago, and this is why some of it might have stirred up here. It's pretty interesting. Harbor Custom Home Development closes construction loan with sound capital of $20,129,000 on Pacific Ridge condominiums in Tacoma, Washington. It says located 10 minutes to downtown Tacoma's urban core job market. The 80 condominiums will cater to the first-time home buyers to affordable options in the robust Tacoma area housing. That's actually huge right there. If they're doing with affordable housing, and for them, check out the prices here as far as where they're at. These houses are priced at $350,000 and $400,000 for Seattle, dude. That's sick. As far as like sick is meaning a good thing, good price. If you're not familiar with the lingo, that's lower than actually a lot of other markets around the country, considering, and the land of where they're building that at. And I'm not saying that because I'm an investor or anything. I'm just saying that's a dang good price. It'll fill a significant need in local for a condominium for Tacoma and one of the strongest housing markets in the nation. As of July 2021, Tacoma had an 18.8 year-by-year average sales price increase, raising the median sales price from 410 to 505. Sterling Griffin, the CEO of Harbor, said the Pacific Ridge project is ideally located in South Tacoma, less than 10 minutes to the downtown core job market, approximately 5 minutes to the joint base of Lewis and McCord entrance. That's for, or otherwise known as JBLM. It supports 40,000 service members, including active duty. So, Kage, like in certain areas when they with the extra living off base, things like that, those communities are economical as far as they're huge economically. The military bases and the troops there and service people that reside there, they help inject a lot into the economy. So what do you have on Stockwitz there, Kage?
It looks like most of the comments that I'm looking are bullish, not very many bearish. Hey there. The market says a lot of it is bullish, and it looks like some people are here and there that say bearish, but it looks mostly bullish.
Okay.
Like, take, for example, Vertical says, was not too clear on its trend, but definitely trended higher for the first hours. The first VWAP breakdown recovered, but the second one did not. Downtrending since, so probably over for now.
Mm-hmm.
A plus 41% since first alert.
Yeah, and I think too as well. The good thing about them as well is that they're in Texas as well, and the building there, unless you get like bad weather, which is during this time, they're going to keep on going, and so that revenue stream is going to keep on flowing. Only reason how I know, I mean, it does slow down, but in the wintertime, just due to orders and things like that, but they're still going to be able to keep on going in that area for sure. So that's the other thing there with their projects. Anything else on Stockwitz?
I think we covered it mostly.
Okay. So there's basically what you're seeing is there's more bulls out there than there are bears.
Yeah, basically.
That's always a good thing with a stock. So yeah, see where your buy point is. Find out if you're in it. If you're not, you got some information on it now. But that's all I got to say about these two. I don't have any more. And beware tomorrow of Skilo Friday because you could even speed on the highway. Don't get taken. Don't lose your butt or anything like that. Hopefully you didn't get caught in a freaking pumper or not. So, got anything to add?
Yeah. Stay vigilant out there and watch out for the speeders.
Yeah, for sure. And don't make it a dog show. We'll see you here Monday morning. Good night now.